Hey everybody, Multi-Classic Gamer here. Welcome back to more Metroid Prime Trilogy. We are almost done here, but for last thing we gotta do is we gotta clean up basically the entire Galactic Federation here in Metroid Prime 3. We have technically 39 pickups left in the entire game. We got some Norium, we got some in Brio, we got some in Elysia. We have some at the GFS Valhalla, which is going to be our very last stop before the last area of the entire game. But also the Pirate Homeworld. Today we're going to begin our cleanup in Planet Norian. Now, here's the thing. As you can see, the suit upgrades have been revealed to us thanks to the Chozo satellites in Prime. Thanks to the Chozo satellite that we found in Elysia. And I'm going to be using this to essentially cut to all the suit upgrades that are the suit expansions that there are to get here in Planet Norian. I'm going to be cutting a lot more than I did in the Prime 1 and 2 backtrack parts, or the Prime 1 and 2 cleanups that I did at the end of those two games. Because the thing is, with me not being able to, there's not going to be too much cutting here on Norian, because there's a lot of stuff here we haven't seen yet. There's a lot of new stuff that, there's going to be an unexplored territory, like as in Generator B, for instance, or C, whichever one we haven't been to yet. That is entirely unexplored territory. But not only that, but there's also a missile expansion directly right behind us here at the start. So, but yeah, like I said, with me pre-recording this entire Let's Play before anyone besides my test audience on Discord sees it, I can't tell if you guys are okay or not with this. I can't tell if my general audience is okay, cares about having to sit through all that backtrack or not. I don't know if my commentary makes it worth it or not. So what I've decided to do is for this particular time, in case anyone's sick of it, I'm just going to go ahead and do a bunch of cutting to make it not as bad to sit through, essentially. So our first suit upgrade is okay, so as you can see, the stuff we got is marked with an X. So our next suit upgrade is in Cargo Hub. But real quick, I want to talk to this GF trooper.
Welcome back, Samus. We're in the middle of major repairs due to the pirate attack, so excuse the mess.
Like, I'll be kind of random stuff like that, like me talking to Pirate, or talking to GF troopers, or, yeah, just whenever the next suit upgrade is. So that's basically what's going to be going on. I'll be kind to whatever the next point of interest is. Okay, so for our first suit upgrade here, we need, yeah, just whatever you want to call it. We have to use this hand terminal to open up a shaft for our morph ball bomb, or morph ball essentially. And that'll take us to another missile expansion. So yeah, this is I'm just assigned to do this to save time for those who don't want to sit through, me trying to commentate in between points of interest. And yeah, there's a lot of other stuff I have to talk about, but I just don't want to do right now. Just don't feel like this is the appropriate time to, like, when I'm trying to. Oh yeah, the other thing is that since I'm doing a lot of cutting, these episodes may also extend past 20 minutes, like they may be 25 or even 30 at times, and that's because I'm going to be doing a lot of cutting, so I can't tell like when I've reached 20 minutes. Alright, there's a missile expansion there.
Good day, Samus. You may want to rethink heading into this section of the facility. The area beyond this door is overrun with spent phazon from the initial pirate invasion. The locking mechanism was damaged and is currently inoperable. It is scheduled for repairs, but considering what's on the other side, I'm not surprised the welding engineers haven't gotten around to fixing it yet.
Well, that's where we come in, thanks to our beloved plasma beam. And now we're using the Nova beam to repair it, so obviously it's no more powerful than before in terms of that, but still the lighting effects are really incredible, I will say. So yes, from here we have unexplored territory, so I will go ahead and commentate through this part, but so what I wanted to talk about was what I wanted to talk about essentially in this. Oh, what do you want now?
We have received new data from AU-217. A planet was detected at the epicenter from where the Leviathan telemetry originated. We have named this planet Phase.
So, yeah, that pretty much tells us exactly where we're headed for, is here, is planet phase. Okay, what's it? That's not exactly how you do it, but, there was a... It's kind of, like, you basically gotta get really good timing, essentially, to get that down. What I wanted to talk about before 242 interrupted me there is my own perspective when it comes to watching blind Let's Plays. Because it's taught me a lot of things, essentially. Like how people feel like when they're watching my blind Let's Plays. Because I've encountered this frustration myself, like wanting to... Like being frustrated on how someone is performing. You know, when it seems like it should be like pretty obvious that how easy something is to figure out. But what it really comes down to is perspective. If you know an entire game so well, like the back of your hands, then what the person's trying to figure out, like what they're experiencing for the first time, is going to be incredibly obvious to you because you already know what to do in that particular moment. Like, I'll share an example. Like, I was watching, I mean, just to bring up an example, a Let's Player that's influenced me for so much over the years, Nintendo Capri Sun, Tim. In his LP of Donkey Kong 64, for instance. I am so familiar with that game. I know the game like the back of my hands. And I will say that I felt similar frustrations watching him doing that game blind. And, okay, so we got a couple lore entries here. I'm going to interrupt my story real quick to talk about these. Plant Brio. Federation scouts discovered the planet Brio 10 years ago. The planet's alignment makes most of its surface uninhabitable. 48% of the world is always exposed to the sun, with another 48% shrouded in permanent night. The remaining 4% lies in equatorial ring of fertile jungle, where the bulk of Brio's bioforms dwell. Fuel gel is common on Brio, which makes it extremely important to the Federation. The local bioforms are quite primitive, though there are ruins that indicate an advanced culture thrived in Brio in the centuries past. I'm not going to go into that because we already know about the story about Brio, because we already been reading its lore entries. And we got the one for Skytown here. Skytown is a network of advanced structures floating in the atmosphere of planet Elysia. Most of the base is dedicated to research, from local to interstellar level. The powerful sensors of Skytown provide useful military intelligence data along with research information. An Aurora unit analyzes the vast amounts of data collected by the station. It is supported by the Elysians, a group of sentient mechanoids that live within the base. So in particular, when Tim was doing the final battle of the game, people were shouting at him so much over stuff that seemed simple, and yes, it does. I mean, like, for instance, when he was, like, especially in the part where you're Diddy Kong and you're trying to down the stage lights onto King K. Rool's head, and you couldn't figure out, like, that you're supposed to shoot the targets when it seemed obvious at the time. My temptation was the same as the other people in the audience. They were, you know, to yell, but at the same time, you have to remember that it's your perspective and it's different from somebody else's. You know, it's different from somebody who is playing the game for the very first time versus you who has played this game dozens of times over the years. You know, I'm fully aware of the feeling that people get when something that seems obvious to them is not being figured out so easily by the person that's doing it for the very first time. I can understand that frustration. The problem is that a lot of people are not able to hold back their anger or frustration or whatever towards that person, you know, figuring out the thing that they're supposed to do. And that is where it really comes down to, I guess, self-control at that point. You know, because, like, if you actually have self-control, you can maintain your calmness and, you know, actually be polite and constructive in your comments. Okay, is this a lore scan? I don't remember or not. Okay, no, it's not. It's the N10K connection between nearby bioforms and space on mass. So you got to destroy all of them in order for it to go away. So yeah, this room is basically the same as the other ones that lead to the other two generators. It's just that, you know, obviously it's generator B, so it's not as it's not maintained because it's been, you know, still GF troopers hadn't gained access to it ever since the attack, essentially. They're still left to spend phase on here. So we're going to use phase on here to clear out the rest of them here. But yeah, now we have a third landing spot for our ship. Well, actually a fourth one. There's 4 of them now. Yeah, that's right. Or is there just 3 of them? I think, I don't think there's one at the... Yeah, there's not one at C. Okay, here we go. So basically, that's pretty much what I had to say. It just really comes down to self-control. You got to be able to, just no backseat gaming. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. All right, multi-lock blast shield. Yeah, this is obviously you got to use your seeker launcher at this. I don't even know like how early you could possibly come here before you actually use it, but or before you're able to fully get through here. But obviously, at least the seeker launcher and the plasma beam, so I'd say sometime after you clear Elysia you can come here, but yeah, for me it just makes sense to save everything until I have all the suit upgrades. Yeah, I did that in the blind let's play too. Also, yes, there's another lore entry back there I need to get to. I just realized I have to have my ship land here and use it as a platform to get to that other lore, that last lore entry. I think that's the last Galactic Federation lore entry, if I'm not mistaken. I think the only thing I'm missing after that in terms of Galactic Federation is just Admiral Dane himself. If nothing else, though, we're at least going to get through Noreen in this episode, despite the lack of cutting I've been able to do. Which will be good enough for me. But I'd like to get through Brio, Elysia, and all the Pirate Homeworld backtracking ASAP, like, as quickly as I possibly can. Because I don't want to have, like, several episodes, like, probably 10 episodes of me doing that in Prime 2. I don't know for sure, but I'm willing to bet it's around 10 episodes of that LP, of that part of the Let's Play is that. Okay, so finally the Valhalla incident. The GFS Valhalla was on a training mission after receiving new crew at Tibis. We believe the Valhalla was ambushed en route to the training base by a fleet of pirate vessels. Data suggests the pirates were using upgraded starships powered by Phazon. That plus superior numbers were more than the Valhalla could handle. Current whereabouts of Valhalla are unknown. She is presumed destroyed in action. Nope. The space pirates and Dark Santos made the dumb decision to leave it standing, wherever it is. And we're going to see that later. Hopefully within the next few episodes. Okay, not next few, but like 4 or 5 in the latest. I might actually go over 100, maybe for Let's Play, probably. If I was to not do any cutting for this section of the LP, definitely would go over 100, and still might, I don't know. The problem, though, is what lies in here. Generator B. This room is home to something we have not encountered yet, but, well, I should have technically encountered this first back in Pirate Homeworld. This, my friends, is a Metroid hatcher. Just another result of Phazon exposure, essentially mutating the Metroids. When the head's interior is damaged, its tentacles can be ripped off. So, here's the thing. I have to get this out right now because the Nova Beam kind of changes this battle entirely. Normally, you're expected to have just the Plasma Beam to fight it the first time. Wait, what? I didn't even have the X-ray visor on. Oh no! I was gonna try and show the legit way you're supposed to fight them. Whatever. If you want to see it, there's my blind Let's Play. The first time I fought one, I did with the Plasma Beam. And yes, this leads to an energy cell. I was trying to do this the way you're supposed to with the Plasma Beam. Alright, whatever. I guess I won't get to show the actual legitimate way you're supposed to fight them, but yeah, the battle's supposed to be a lot longer than that. I can definitely tell you that. And I didn't even get... yeah, I did scan it. Duh. No duh. That's the one thing I was able to do before it died. And that's 5 energy cells. There's 4 left. So yeah, 4 of the 9 energy cells that are basically the whole point behind this whole endgame side quest, or endgame quest of sorts. 4 of them we got through the story mode. And by the way, I believe you only need 6 of them to actually beat the game. There's 9 of them total, so you can, you obviously gotta get all 9 if you want to complete the game, but, yeah, you technically only need 6 of them to beat the game. So you get 4 of them through the story mode naturally. Well, I mean, kind of. I mean, like, that 4th one I could have gotten, I didn't have to get that one, actually, so technically 3 of them, but still. 3 out of the 6 that you need, you get through story mode. And so you don't really have to do that much of this end quest if you want to just go straight to the end of the game, essentially. Alright, anyways, moving on to the next suit expansion. Okay, so the next expansion is here in the maintenance station. There's an ice store here that obviously I didn't have the ice missiles here on my first visit to Norian, so that means now we have it, so we can get ourselves a missile expansion on what clearly looks like a save station, but I guess I'm assuming it doesn't function as a save station, even though it clearly should, because it looks like one. Right? Right? Yep. No save station. And for the very last suit expansion of Planet Norian, you're gonna need the Spireball for this one. So yeah, there's literally no point coming back to Norian until you have all these suit upgrades. So you make your way through this little shaft here, and get to your last missile expansion. This is where we fought the space pirates, and Rundus saved us from them after we were, quite frankly, outnumbered by them. And with that, folks, Planet Norian is now 100% complete. There are no more suit upgrades for us to get, just a bunch of white X's. So, with that, it is time for us to head over to Planet Brio. Alright, so starting off here in Brio Fire, there is actually only one suit upgrade for us to get here. There's only one suit expansion for us to get here. And that is in the Temple of Brio, so I'll meet you folks there. This is where we fought Rundus. Okay, so rather than fighting off these enemies, I'm going to try using the ship missile, see if that works better, more efficiently. I haven't scanned yet. Oh, that didn't quite work out. Also, what was I stuck in there? I seem to be stuck in, like, some shit or something. Well, I don't know. Either way. So, with our X-ray visor and Nova Beam, we can now fire through this. Yeah, you need both the Nova Beam, X-ray visor, and the hazard shield to do this. But for some reason, it also disables this elevator here. I'm not sure what the purpose of that is, but either way, with our hazard shield, we can now safely wade through the fuel gel here. And if you make your way over to the other side of the room, you'll eventually come across a missile expansion. That puts us at 170, I do believe. And that is the only suit upgrade here, or suit expansion here in Brio Fire. But there is something in Brio Ice we can now get, so that means that we're not quite... Technically, that means we're not done here in Brio Fire quite yet. We're supposed to... Now we have to go back to where the Brio Ice warp is, so I'll meet you folks there. And off to Brio Ice we go. I believe there's 2 suit upgrades we can get here, but I'm not entirely sure 100%, actually. It might just be 1. But this will be a good suit, a good one for us to get either way. I'm just going to keep on saying suit upgrades all the time. I'm never going to remember to say suit expansion at all, so just know what I mean when I say suit upgrades, okay? All good? Thank you. So our one and only suit upgrade here in Brio Ice is over here at basically the very end of the region where you screw attack up this wall here. Well, it's surrounded by a bunch of Spireball tracks, so let's see where they lead to, shall we? Probably gonna end off the episode after this one. We still got Brio Cliffside and Brio Thorn Jungle to get through, but after that we'll be ready to move on to Elysia, which is good. That means we're making good progress here. Okay, so yeah, these tracks are a little convoluted, but they will lead you to something definitely worthy of a long trip, that's for sure. I'm not exactly sure what my goal is here, if I really am just trying to make this LP exactly 100 episodes, but it's usually better if it becomes that number, like, unintentionally, but I don't know. It might be partially intentional, partially unintentional, I don't know. Because I definitely didn't plan on being 100 episodes like this thus far, obviously, or like up until I got to this point in the Let's Play, but either way, you know, being so close to the end of Prime 3. Anyways, yeah, it leads to an energy tank. And that is energy tank number 10. I believe it's 10 energy tanks now we have? I think so. It's hard to tell with the number of dots there. Or, well, like, it's hard to count the number of dots because of all this stuff in the way. But either way, that's going to do it for today, folks. Next time on Metroid Prime Trilogy, we're going to continue the cleanup of the Prime 3 regions, starting with, with Brio Cliffside and Brio Jungle. So, I will see you folks later. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.